like Will Zalatoris over Eric Van Rooyen here. Listen, I'm not really concerned about Will Zalatoris's sort of Masters so far. It hasn't been bad at all. Obviously, he made the cut pretty easily. But this guy is a guy I liked going into this tournament. He's a great ball striker. He has great Masters history. Now, EVR is definitely, Eric Van Rooyen definitely has history, and he's definitely a veteran, and he's played well at the Masters before. But this number just seems out of whack, especially with the weather calming down a bit. I think that's actually going to present really well for Will Zalatoris, who's a great ball striker, will probably be keeping it in the fairway, and his approach play is probably going to be a lot better than EVR. So I think this minus 130 price is surprising him. And if you look at head-to-head matchups across the board, you're seeing a lot of favorites being like minus 245, right? You see the Xanders, the Scotty Schefflers, guys like that are John Rahm that are like minus 300. So you're not getting a lot of head-to-heads where there's like any meat on the bone in terms of like the ability to take them outside of putting them in a money line parlay. Will Zalatoris is one that I looked at that I said, hey, this probably should be minus 150, minus 155, and it's not. I don't think it's a trap. I don't really see golf matchups as a trap. I just see the data that I saw going into this tournament and what I've seen the last couple of days. I'm happy to take Will Zalatoris minus 130 over EVR. If you have a matchup, obviously send it my way. Like Seth, for example, Zalatoris over Cantlay at plus money. I don't love it, but I do lean Zalatoris' way. I can't really figure out Cantlay. Obviously, I bet on him yesterday. I expected him to beat Minwoo Lee and Ricky Fowler pretty easily. Unfortunately, Ricky and Minwoo actually played pretty well. I mean, they played good golf. That was the surprise part. Patrick Cantlay was just a little less than average. He only lost by one stroke to those two. But long story short, that would be a stay away for me, but I would lean your direction. The pace to watch live play, I just want to point this out. Maybe for like a lesser unit, because I don't put as much on finishing positions as I do on head-to-head matchups. But I'll say this, Xander Schauffele to finish top 10, he's been pretty good. He's rebounded from some bad holes and played pretty well. He's been pretty consistent. His top 10 number in the Masters is plus 100, even money. And honestly, the guys above him right now, I see a lot of those guys regressing, especially with good conditions over the next couple of days. A lot of those kind of good wind players, those good around the green players that have just been really good in those departments, I see them kind of falling a little bit because they're not superstar players. So while Xander can be passed by people behind him, I do think Xander is probably outfitted to be inside the top 10 by the end of Sunday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my pick. So here's the thing. The Zalatoris play goes off at, let's see, 11:55. So we have about an hour and a half. The next group that goes out is Akshay Bhatia and Shane Lowry at 12:05. And listen, I'm laying juice here again, but Jake the Snake, I got to have you update my sheet here because thank you, chat. I really do like this play, and I like it enough to make it an official play. Shane Lowry, and unfortunately, I'm looking at just one book. Maybe you can get better juice somewhere else, is minus 135 over Akshay Bhatia. Again, that's right after Zalatoris goes off. I like that. That's another official play for me. I've literally never done this where I'm seeing somebody point something out in the chat and I'm actually turning it into an official play as opposed to just verbally saying that this is a lean. But chat helping me out here. I really do like this play. So I've got Will Zalatoris minus 130 over EVR, and I've got Shane Lowry minus 135. Let me know if you see a better price somewhere else, but minus 135 over Akshay Bhatia.